We left this only a minute to begin.
Ja, ik weet het zo.
Forgive me for that. I'm in Netherlands. Hi. Good morning again. Number one for a snack, this would just be a recap. If I have triangle, this is my triangle. I have 18, and then I have 30. I want X. I want X. So calculate X. Calculate X. Calculate X. Calculate X. This is just the snack. Calculate X. While we wait for others, because I'm thinking the meeting, everybody hasn't joined the meeting yet. So meanwhile, we're waiting for others, we can do this question. Redraw the question. And then today we are consolidating. We are consolidating the first part of the workbook. We are consolidating the first part, which was trigonometry part 2. I think we did the first extract. We didn't do the second, so we're gonna be looking at the second extract today, and as well as the third, and then the fourth. We did the fourth. Well, this was just what we did in the first time, so we actually did not include it. We did extract number 5. We have extract number 6. If I remember well, this was work you were supposed to do on your own. And then extract number 6, I think we did extract number 6. Well, that's what I'm thinking, but I'm not sure. But we're going to look at these ones that haven't been completed yet. After the first one, of course. Thank you. If I look at this whole diagram, I'm given an angle. I have an angle. I have an angle. I have an angle. I have the hypotenuse side as well as the opposite side. So in this diagram, if I want to find x is the opposite side to the angle, right? So I know from my trig functions that ones that have the opposite side, it's tangent as well as sine. So I'm going to choose sine because of I have the hypotenuse side. Tangent is equal to the opposite side over the hypotenuse. Oh, sorry, not the hypotenuse. The adjacent side. So in this case, I cannot use tangent because I don't have the adjacent side. So I can therefore not use tangent. Instead, I'm going for sine. I'm going to say sine 30 degrees, sine 30 degrees. The side that is opposite to 30 degrees is x. X is opposite. This is all over 18. So meaning sine 30, I know sine 30 is equal to a half. This is a special angle. I have x over 18. A lot of learners go from here. You shouldn't. This is from here, you just cross multiply. So the x is going to multiply the 2. So I'm going to have 2x being equal to 1 times 18, which is 18. Then divide by 2. This is all algebra. This x is equal to 9. This is my final answer. Fine, then that is how we actually find the other sides of a triangle given an angle. Fine, we're going to look at our extractions. Can somebody remind me of what we have to start with from the extractions? Should we begin with extract number 2?
Yes.
Fine. Okay, we'll begin with extract number 2. Thank you. It says, question 5, it says a tower has 3. We're going to underline what is important. All that is important, you're going to underline it. You're going to underline it. You're going to underline it. Whatever that's important, you're going to underline it. A tower has 300 meters. So we have 300 meters. It's 300 meters high. Is anchored to the ground by 2 steel pegs that lie directly opposite to each other. The angle of elevation of a peg at the top of the tower is 49 degrees. The angle of elevation for peg B is 73. So they actually show the angles also. Selena, raise up your hand if you have a question or if you want to speak. If the tower and the pegs lie on the same horizontal plane, determine the distance between two pegs. If we're talking about planes, guys, for example, I can have a diagram like this one, just to elaborate on planes. Let's say I have, okay, this is a line. I'm gonna draw another line. I'm gonna draw and form a triangle. Then this is my 90 degrees. Right, so I can have something like this also. And then say this is 90 degrees. And then have another one here, another line here. Can you see this? It's a 3D shape. It has 3 dimensions. Do you understand? So when they talk about planes, they're talking about the dimensions. Do you understand? So if I'm going to take, let's say this is A, I can say this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D, right? So if I can say D, D, B, D, B, C. Raise up your hand if you want to ask a question. Raise up your hand, I'll note you and give you the opportunity. So DBC triangle, DBC, this triangle right here. It's this one here at the bottom. This one here at the bottom. It's on its own plane. It's on its own plane. Please, guys, if you have a question now, I'm going to remove you in the group if you keep on unmuting yourself. Because I said if you have a question, you should just raise up your hand. I just removed Nell, so I think she'll get the recording because it's a disturbance. Fine. So from here, DBC it's its own plane. So I'm gonna redraw it. I'm gonna redraw it. This, that, and also really like this. So we have a 90 degree there. Yes, photo like this will make more sense. Then this is a 90 degrees. My 90 degrees right there. Fine, so this is D. This is D, D, B, and C. So it's on its own plane. So going back to the workbook, meaning these are on the same plane. They lie 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 on the same plane. This is the same plane. This is what they're talking about. Fine. So going back here, I'm going to say, what do they want actually? Determine the distance between the two pegs. So they want this distance. They want AD, ADB. This is what they want. This is what they want. This is what they want. A, D, B. This is the side they want. This distance. They want this distance. So if they want this distance, right? I have a common side and I have an angle. Remember when we did the first question, we looked at when we are given an angle and a side. So in this case, I can find DB. I can find DB because I know D right here, ADB is a straight line, meaning here I'm gonna have a 90 degrees, a 90 degrees. Also the side at a 90 degrees, the 90 degrees, because they form a flat surface and this is a straight line. Fine, so I'm gonna say for triangle, the first triangle on the right, this triangle, this one right here, this one right here. I'm gonna start with this triangle. Start with this. So I'm gonna say, because I want A, because I want A, D, B. I know ADB is equal to, it's a straight line. They mentioned that it's a straight line here. So meaning it's going to be equal to AD plus DB. That's it. AD and DB, they make ADB. What I know is that with DB, I can find the value of DB because I have an adjacent angle as well as the opposite side. So the trig ratio that has an adjacent side and the opposite side is tangent. So I'm going to say tan 73 degrees is equal to dB all over. I'm making a mistake. Raise up your hand if you're seeing an error. If you can see an error I've made, I'm realizing now that there's an error somewhere. Raise up your hand. Okay. Lebona.
So you were supposed to say something over dB.
Something over
Like
dB. What's something?
300 over
300.
dB.
Thank you very much, Lebona. Thank you very much. So it's 300. It's 300 all over dB. And then from here, I'm going to use my calculator. Well, not yet. I'm going to start with saying this is all over 1 in order for me to simplify cross multiplying. So it's going to be dB is equal to, dB tan 73 is equal to 300. Fine, so divided by tan 73, yes, divided by tan 73. So this eliminates that. So dB, give me the final answer. What is the final answer? Type it in the chat box. Type it in the chat box. I want to see answers in the chat box. Type it in the chat box. I want to see answers in the chat box. I want to see answers in the chat box. I want to see answers in the chat box. What is the answer? DB? DB is equal to 91.72. Okay. 91.72. Okay, rounded off to second decimal place. So 91, I'm seeing 91. So it's 91.72. 91.72. Thank you. 91.72. Okay, and now we have DB. Now we have DB. Now we have DB, so we have 91.72. Calculate AD, find AD, find AD, find AD, find AD, find AD. Calculate AD. You found DB, correct? So calculate AD, calculate AD. I want to see answers on the chat box. Calculate AD. You saw how we did the whole question. So calculate AD. Calculate AD. I'm assuming everybody has the workshop, the workbook on their phones right now. Or ones that have hard copy are actually opening it up. Okay, you have a question? Yes? Bokang? Your hand is up, Bokang.
I can't see.
You can't see what?
Your screening or anything.
My screen, you can't see my screen. Can you see it now? Bokang?
Sir,
Can you see it now?
no.
How many of you can see the screen? By show of hands. Tumelo? Everybody can see the screen.
I can see it.
Did you enable screen? Things there are settings there where you can actually enable. Because I'm sharing right now. Okay, it seems like I've activated the sharing. Okay, even now you can't see. Logan, you muted yourself. You can't see even now, Logan.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yes to see or yes to not see?
Yes, I cannot see even now.
Even now. Okay, I think you should fix one of your settings there.
Oh, yeah. Now I can see.
Now you can see.
No, I can this thing.
Okay, so it's your connection right there. Yeah? I'm assuming it's the connection. Probably it's slow. Okay, so AD it's 260. People are getting 260. People are getting 260. So AD, we had calculated. We had calculated.
Second answer that can answer the AB question.
The AB.
I
This
think
one
we're gonna take the answer for it.
yes?
Yeah, the answer for AB equals to we're gonna take the answer for AD, which gave us 260,79 meters. Then we add to 91,72, which is it will give us 352,51 meters.
Okay, now you're speaking very fast. What are you saying?
Okay, that's something. We're gonna take the answer for AD, which is 260,79.
How did you get there?
Then
So
we're gonna add it.
before Neo. Okay, let's look at Neo. So you said, what do you use? Which trig function do you use? Did you use? Okay, Tumela?
Sir, I didn't hear what she just said.
Oh, you want me to repeat?
Yes, please.
Okay. From which part? The AD part.
When she started to explain, sir, I didn't hear anything.
The whole question.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shireen, what's your question? Shireen? Okay. Lebone?
So I think she said tan 49 over, is equivalent to 300 over 80. And then,
49.
yes,
It's equal to what?
300 over 80.
300 over 18.
80.
Over 80. Thank you. Over 80. Thank you. Okay.
And
So what
then,
is, and then 80?
What I repeat the question?
it is 300 over tan 49.
100 over 49. What is the
And
answer?
then the answer is 260.
260.
It's exact to. Oh, okay, on a
60.
question, baby. Yeah.
260, isn't it?
260,79.
Comma 79.
And then with the other number, the answer for DB, you add that together and then it equates to 352,51.
So AD
Plus DB.
plus DB equals
352,
352,
51. 51.
Thank you. So these are in meters. These are in meters. These are in meters. So we're gonna end the session. Then we'll continue the second part. We'll continue with the second part. We'll continue with the second part. Continue with the second part. Because Zoom says we have to pay. So I'm thinking we'll have to pay. But it's convenient because we're going to drop them in the WhatsApp group chat. I think it will be easier then. Did you note this down? Or you can just look at the recording, I guess. Yes. So we're gonna look at the other extracts. It seems like you're still writing. Okay. I read your lips. I think you said you finished or something, so it's fine. We're gonna look at the other extract, né? Well, it's 10:30. I think my phone has just reminded me of another session, a continuation. A continuation. Fine, so we're gonna look at the other extract, né? This one. Have you done this one yet? Did we do this one? Extract number 5.
No.
So we can get into extract number 5. On extract number 5, they're mentioning very important things. Well, we have AX being perpendicular, AX and XC. AX is perpendicular. We can see by the 90 degrees. Okay, and then they even emphasize that ABC is 90 degrees, or this is 90 degrees. We have BC, which is equal to 10, and then AC is equal to 25. Then, yeah, that's that. All the information is given in the diagram. So XCA, XCA. I told you about the labeling of the angles. Okay? The labeling of the angles. It's very important. Labeling of the angles. XCA. Can you see XCA? It's this angle right here. You start with the lines, right? And then where the two lines meet, they meet at C. XC and XA, they meet at C. Yes, with XC and CA, in fact. So it's XC and CA. CA is right here. These are two lines. So they meet at C. Here's C. That's how the naming comes from. So I'm gonna say calculate. This is what I'm calculating. So firstly, I'm gonna look at what I have. I have the hypotenuse side. I have the hypotenuse side, right? So I can either think of cosine or sine, because those three ratios, they include the hypotenuse side. So I'm gonna say, can I find XA? I think it's going to be a challenge to find XA. So it's easier to find XC because XC is a common side. And in triangle XBC, in triangle, I'm going to say in triangle XBC, in triangle XBC, I'm going to focus on this, what I'm given, 40. And I have also 10, right? Meaning sine, I'm going to use sine because I have an opposite side. I want the hypotenuse. In triangle XBC, What I know is the opposite side. Opposite side. This I know is equal to 10. I know an angle. An angle is equal to 40. What I also know, what I can find is the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse. I can find this. I can find this in this triangle here, in triangle XBC. So in triangle, what I actually want is XCA, XCA. So XCA in triangle XCA, in triangle XCA, what I know is the hypotenuse side. The hypotenuse side is equal to 25. 25. The hypotenuse side is also AC. What I know also, well, it's the 90 degrees, but I don't think it's essential. The 90 degrees, listen to me very carefully. If there's a 90 degrees in the triangle, you can make use of the trig ratios, right? Tangent, cosine, and sine. That's what helps us about the 90 degrees. So what I can find is XC. I can find XC, which is the adjacent side of the angle we want. Adjacent side of the angle we want. We want this angle, XCA. We want this angle. That's what we want. So I have identified the given information, right? I have identified what I want. So from here, I'm going to say that what I can find now is the hypotenuse, which is XC. I'm going to say sine of 40 degrees. Sine of 40 degrees is equal to the opposite side. The opposite side is 10 over the hypotenuse, which is XC. When I calculate XC, well, I'm going to calculate XC, I'm going to cross multiply. I'm going to cross multiply and say, I'll get that XC is equal to 10 all over sine 40 degrees. Type the answer in the chat box. Type the answer in the chat box. Type the answer in the chat box. What is the value of XC? Okay, Lebona, it says it's 15.56. 15.56. How many of you are getting 15.56? 15. Okay, so what do you want to say?
Sir, I wanted to say I got 15.56.
15.56 also. Thank you.
Yes.